Are we live?
We are.
We are live. We're back. We've done some things while we were having some technical issues. We had a little break. We had a Zen moment. We meditated. We went to the place of nature, and now we are calm and returned.
I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I'm Ann Powers from NPR Music here with Lera Lynn and Josh Grange. Julie Height on the iPhone camera back there. And let's launch right back into that song that we were playing before.
This is Cut and Burn from Resistor. Oh, for a heart, a tooth, mix a mark, cut and burn. You say, so the end don't fray. Simple to see, I've fallen off my feet. I'll not walk again, gunpowder black within. I cast my soul into a silver bullet bed. Find metal for our last dance, let justice make its case. Satisfaction, mind and feel, traveling through space, faster than the speed of sound, when in your heart's race. Oh, I hope in vain, there's nothing left but pain. You wave your flag red, you turn light to lead. Charcoal for nerves, you drain me of my color, but no more passe. Horns out all the way. I cast my soul into a silver bullet bed. Find metal for our last dance, let justice make its case. Satisfaction, mind to feel, traveling through space, faster than the speed of sound, when in your heart's race. I cast my soul into a silver bullet bed. Find metal for our last dance, let justice make its case. Satisfaction, mind to feel, traveling through space, faster than the speed of sound, when in your heart's race.
Bravo!
Yeah.
Getting lots of likes and a request for Little Ruby.
Oh boy, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were gonna do that one.
Well,
You can wait and do it.
Okay.
you all hang on and you're going to hear the
Thanks.
song you want to hear. I'm Ann Powers from NPR Music with Lera Lynn and Josh Grange, Julie Height on the iPhone camera, Facebook Live. So that was lovely.
Thanks.
And I wanted to ask you, love the little guitar work you're doing at the end, the tandem guitar work. And what we're hearing today is a privileged chance to hear an acoustic version of what you do. But what you do on record, prop,
Nice.
Nice use of prop.
Yes.
is very different. And it's much more, it's electric. It's, as my friend Julia said, you really set a mood. You use effects. You use a lot of interesting tools in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about how you've honed that sound, the two of you, over the years? Because this is what, your third project together?
Yeah.
Third and a half, you said?
Yeah, sure.
Third, yeah. Second and a half, something like
Second
that.
Something like that.
Well, I think for Resistor specifically, the songs were written in a different way than songs I've written previously, wherein I wanted to focus more on a feeling and less on maybe storytelling or that sort of thing. So we used the studio and the instruments and the production to help paint the feeling, and I think we got pretty close to what we wanted to do there, don't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's
Yeah.
nice having a studio to work in.
You have your own studio.
We do.
Yeah.
And that's a very common thing here in Nashville, is for people to have home studios.
Yeah.
When you first came to Nashville, did the environment of so many studios attract you? Was that interesting to you as someone who's really into sound and creating different kinds of sounds?
Yeah, absolutely. And just how many musicians are here. I mean, there's no town like it, really. It's amazing. Everywhere we go, get a cup of coffee, go to the grocery store, people are talking about their publishing deals or some co-write they did, or, it's just kind of fun to be around everybody working in music. Everyone understands each other
Right.
for the most part, and people are willing to work together and collaborate in this town in a really special way, I think.
That's so true. I mean, when we first moved into this house a year ago or so, we found that everyone who came, to help us in some way, work on something, was a musician, had been in, I think our air conditioning guy had been a drummer with George Jones. I love that aspect of Nashville for sure. Did you, but before this you were in Athens, Georgia. We were talking a little bit about that. That's another great music town, but a very different kind of music town.
Yeah.
What did you, how did that feed your artistic muse?
I've been trying to find the words to describe what it is that makes Athens music special, and I can't. I can't really put it into words. There's some kind of looseness and edgy is a horrible word to use when describing music, I know, but there is an edginess to it, and I think it's it has made its way into my music, certainly in a big way. It's not cool to be like super polished there.
That's very true. That's very true.
I think
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I was there for the Drive-By Truckers do this annual reunion thing there every year, and fans come from all over the world. And I remember being in the room at the 40 Watt Club and looking around and thinking, God, what a great place to be, 45 years old and having been a musician your whole life, because it's acceptable there, to just be like a cool bohemian dude or lady or whatever and hang out,
There's an extraordinary sense of community in Athens. Yeah. And so much music and a ton of venues. It's a great place to figure out, who you are or what you want to sound like and go out and try your songs on the audience. I mean, it's still a very discerning audience too.
That's definitely true.
They won't just come if they don't like your music. They're not like, we support you. Good job for trying for your dream,
Well, you grew up in Houston, right?
No, I was just born there. I grew up mostly in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area.
In the LA area?
Oh, Atlanta.
Georgia.
Atlanta.
Sorry. Oh, in Georgia. So tell me about how Atlanta influenced your art, your aesthetic.
Well, my parents are from Texas, so I think their musical influences were probably strongest on me. They listened to a lot of country music, like old country music, but also my dad loved Skinner and 38 Special and Van Halen. My mom was really into the Beatles and Joni Mitchell and Stevie Wonder. But there is a lot of kind of R&B and jazz and stuff in Atlanta. I think at least that's made more of an impression on me than it has on you, being from Los Angeles. You don't seem to have been exposed to as much R&B kind of stuff growing up, right?
Well, there are records that capture music you can play anytime from any genre.
Tell me about this new technology.
Pretty cool.
You weren't confined to listening to like East LA,
We're
Chicano
getting
rock.
more requests.
Oh boy, they're like,
Fade,
shut
Fade
up.
Into the Black or
We're going to talk about that, but
Okay.
how about we have another song?
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a
What
request?
do you want
Should
to
we
play?
do Little Ruby?
You can try it.
This is live,
Okay.
totally live.
It's up to you.
Okay. Let's try it.
Let's try it.
You start it.
You start it.
No.
Artistic collaboration at work.
I have a letter that you sent me in the mail. Signed with love, covered in a sweet smell. But the top left corner of the envelope said Little Ruby, and that was all you wrote. No way to find you, no way to ring your little bell. What are you hiding? You're living in a big mess. I thought you were just a pretty little waitress.
I was getting between them.
No,
Sorry,
no, no,
sorry.
no.
I
I thought we were all gonna like lean in
Oh,
together.
no, I was gonna join in.
Your low range.
was just trying to get close so they could hear me.
Yeah, I love that you do use your low range a lot.
Oh, thanks.
Vocally.
Thanks.
Yeah, I wondered if you were ever into like torch singers, Peggy Lee, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, who else am I thinking? Well, obviously Patsy Cline, but I was thinking more jazz torch singers, kind of standard.
Sarah
singers.
Vaughan, she can get down low.
She can.
Yeah.
She was always my favorite growing up when I was just learning about jazz. I mean, I'm impressed with Ella Fitzgerald's technical prowess, but Sarah, the tone.
Yeah, she's
Incredible.
amazing. When I decided I was going to be a jazz singer when I was younger, I was modeling my vocal style after hers for a short time.
Did you
Really?
study jazz?
No,
Did
I didn't study. No.
Well, how old were you when you were thinking this?
19,
Wow.
probably. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, no, I only say that because I love to think about all the different sources and influences that go into an artist's sound when you finally create that sound. And Josh, I know you played with a lot of different people and have played in a lot of different styles. So can you talk a little bit about how some of your past collaborators have influenced what you do with Lera?
I guess mostly it's learning the creative process is different for everybody. So the most important thing is keeping that at the top of the list. Not about your own dogmatic ideas about what should happen or this needs to happen, but really focusing on the individual person at work.
You've worked with people who have created amazing personae. Katie Lang, Dwight Yoakam, people like that. And Lera, you have a very interesting on-stage persona, I think. Maybe comes from that jazz world, or there's a little noirish thing. I always like to pull out different books to lay on the table, and I pulled out a lot of noir books here. And we got a little Elvis there too.
Would anyone like to do a dramatic reading?
She's good at it.
Passage?
We got some Raymond Chandler. We got some Jacqueline Suzanne, and
Elmer Leonard, sure.
Elmore Leonard, and Josh, you're from LA, so
It's a wild town over there, let me tell you.
I wonder if the kind of classic Hollywood aesthetic influenced you at all in your look, your sound, your approach to songwriting.
I'll tell you why I
I
did.
don't know. Why,
I'll tell you why I did.
why
She's
did
like,
it?
no.
Because a lot of your influences derived a
Were
lot of things
influenced
from
from
that
that,
part.
right.
Ah.
Absolutely.
Like
There's
Patsy
that
Cline.
style to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, also you gotta make the best of what you've got to work with, you know.
True enough.
Well, like
I tried edgy. It just it
Oh.
doesn't work with this thing so much.
Well, there's edgy and then there's edgy, though. I mean,
So, right.
there's nothing more edgy than a classic Hollywood noir, or presenting that kind of image to the world. That song you just sang, what a noir story that is. Really, it's like a fatal romance, So, we were going to talk about your guitars a little bit.
Someone did guess that you're playing a K, so they guessed
Exactly.
correctly.
I wonder
says K
how
on
they.
it.
I wonder how they figured that out.
But maybe that is a K.
Yeah, this is there's a great luthier in Athens, Georgia, Scott Baxendale. We have two guitars of his. I have a regular jumbo acoustic, also a K. He takes these vintage guitars and takes the back off, reconstructs the bracing inside, resets the neck, and makes them tough and beautiful. All of the wood being so old has a lot of character to it, and some of my favorite guitars.
So you're a gearhead, it sounds like, kind of, or a guitar head.
I don't know. Compared to Josh, I know nothing, but
She knows a lot.
but I do enjoy guitars, and I am bordering on having a problem.
What's your favorite place here to shop or window shop for guitars?
I like Grooms a lot, and I like Carter Vintage. Those are great places. Yeah.
What's the oldest guitar that you have?
I think my K acoustic is the oldest one, which is 57. Yeah.
And that leads me to want to ask about the guitar you're playing.
Oh yeah, a 56 Martin 015.
And this is original. No reconstruction, right?
015, no, original. I got it from the Recycler in LA. Remember that? The Recycler.
Yeah.
And bought it out of a woman's trunk. Her
Really?
name's Jessica. She works at McCabe's.
With McCabe's Guitar Shop. Great place, both for shopping and also seeing music.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a great
Absolutely.
venue.
Yeah. So 56, mid-50s also, that guitar, yeah.
Have you ever played anything older? I used to work at Experience Music Project in Seattle, and we have a guitar gallery. We have guitars from like 1870s there.
I have, one of my guitars is the first electric guitar.
Really?
It's a lap steel made by Rickenbacker called the Frying Pan. So
we had a frying pan.
Yeah, you only see them in museums, but it's a great guitar. So that's early 30s.
Wow.
So for electric instruments, that's very old.
Wow.
But we've seen a lot of old Martins too, old, turn of the century guitars.
When you're playing the frying pan, what is it about that vintage instrument that works for you, feeds your creativity?
So like some of the best guitars that you play, they have a life of their own. So you can play one note, and that one note has such a tone that you don't have to do a bunch of other things. So, should we just pick up in the middle of the song?
That was great.
We are getting some more song requests. Cut and Burn.
Are we back on?
Gasoline,
She did Cut and Burn.
Fade
That was
into
the first
Black.
she did.
We're back. What?
She did that.
We did
Yeah,
cover
we're back.
So-
Sorry.
Who did not hear that?
So you're in luck.
Just look back earlier in the stream. But
I was hoping to
do you
do.
feel like playing anything?
I was hoping to do Drive from the new record.
I think that would be great. I would love it. Do you want to sit next to Josh for this one? Or? Do you want to lean in toward
next
me?
to her.
Oh, am I?
I want you guys
Is
to
this
sit
bothering
together.
you?
I
You too? Okay.
am creative directing. I want y'all to sit together. Oh, on one chair. Wow, that's crazy. The power of the host. I can get him to do anything.
Sorry if I was invading your
No.
space.
It's not that. It's honestly, it's not about my space being invaded. It's that I am fascinated by musical interplay.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in how two people come together to make a sound, and I like that energy.
It sounds like a movie right there. How two people come together
Right.
to make
One
a
man.
sound.
To make
Exactly. Two people came together to make a sound. Little did they know, one of them
Coming this
had a
summer.
knife.
Should we do this? Drive? Is that okay with everybody on the internet? Great.
Hang a minute.
Good.
Thumbs up. Put a like.
Go do what you feel.
All right.
Okay. Go for it.
It's late, too late to run. Besides, this night ain't the one. You could say I turned my eye blind. You could say I'm the desperate kind. I've been watching the line, but nothing's passing by. I've been keeping the time, like by it I live and die. I've been watching the line, nothing's passing by. I've been keeping the time, light by it, I live and die. Feels like the end of the road, but there's just one way to know.
I love that little stairway to heaven bit at the end we all have going on. I want to see you with, like, you know, doing the fully spandex, leaning against each other,
Yeah.
playing the guitar
Oh, yeah.
thing.
We don't want to get sued.
We usually save that for when we're alone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We all have our dreams. So you have a tour coming up soon.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that for everyone out
Why don't
in-
you reintroduce who you all
Oh,
are?
I'm Ann Powers, NPR Music. We have Lera Lynn and Josh Grange here today. Julie Height on the iPhone camera, bossing me around there, being the director. So tell us about the tour.
Well, we've got a lot of touring ahead of us this year. In July, we're going to head up through the Midwest and go to Toronto, Montreal. I think we're going to come back down through Brooklyn and D.C., Chicago. Not sure what order, but I know they're all in there.
You can find them on Lera's website, which is
LeraLynn.com. And then we have a lot of touring also this fall, going up the West Coast to Seattle and back down, and basically we'll be touring for the rest of our lives.
And in the midst of touring and supporting your wonderful album, Resistor, which I cannot reach now. Grab that thing for me. One thing we were talking about before was, Lera, you designed the art for the album too, and the packaging and everything?
I did.
Tell us a little bit about this fine
Whew,
new
man.
wave kind of 80s vibe we got going on here.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it started with a photograph, which is of a sculpture. This photograph by our friend Eastchell Lera. She's in Los Angeles. She's an amazing artist and photographer. But she builds sculptures and then she photographs them. And I saw that and thought immediately that it'd be perfect for the cover because there's a lot of kind of starkness to the production of the record, and I don't know if this thing like kind of sparing my head seemed rather appropriate. I'm not sure why.
Did you say spearing your head?
Yeah. And then this is a photograph by a photographer in Nashville, Heidi Ross, the face part.
It's very architectural, and your sound. Oh, you were holding. Do you want to show us something inside there?
Well, just the vinyl too was pretty great.
Ooh,
These are all
beautiful.
decisions that
Yes,
Lera
decisions,
made here.
decisions.
That is a beautiful.
Life is a series of decisions.
That is so true.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right.
Show them what they want.
You're the NPR equivalent of the
Well, it's interesting because we were chatting before, Josh, you were saying that, creating a very simple sound sometimes can be the most evocative thing. And you're talking about how this album in some ways is stark or spare or minimal, but, and again, the architectural image. How did you build the tracks? Was it like piece by piece, element by element?
Yeah, for the most part, I think what we would typically do is I would just do like a scratch, acoustic guitar vocal take, just so we have the foundation of the song, and then we'd track drums, and then bass, and then we'd get rid of the scratch guitar. Sometimes we kept the scratch vocal, and then we'd put electric guitars and keys and stuff like that. Yeah, we overdubbed it. We built it.
Did you? Were there points along the way where you held on to a mistake or had a surprise or something that you're like,
all the
wow?
time, every time.
Yeah.
But they're basically all mistakes. What are we doing?
Well, you're making beautiful music, in my opinion.
Thank you.
What's up on the internet out there? Anybody?
Oh, there are folks who would like you to play in Istanbul and who are wondering if Josh will be touring with you. You are touring with her, right? At some times.
Yeah, as much as possible.
Yeah.
You're touring with a full band.
Yes.
And
Full rock.
rock on.
And I must compliment you on translating the songs that I know were recorded in a more electrical setting. I mean, they worked really well, really beautifully in this acoustic setting.
Yes,
Thank you.
I totally agree. Having
good
seen
team.
you perform with your band, it is, please everyone out there, go see Lera Lynn, because you really do build that amazing atmosphere. And I maybe want to ask you, I mean, the boring journalist question of what are your influences, but I wonder what your most surprising, perhaps, to fans' influences are. I know you're a Pink Floyd fan, for example. I bet you like Chris Isaak, maybe a little, sorta.
Yeah.
Anybody else we might not expect that influences you?
Ray Charles has probably been one of the greatest vocal approach influences on me.
Huh.
I know you can't hear that, obviously, when I sing. But I love his singing because, he can do anything he wants.
Yes.
He can do vocal acrobatics till the audience dies. But he doesn't. He holds back. Every now and then he gives a taste of his abilities, and obviously he's so incredibly soulful. Everything is just so deep.
Oh, You Don't Know
he's
Me, a
huge.
song like that. I mean,
God,
it's just,
kills me. every
absolutely,
time.
and you're totally right. Like, he lays back in it, right? And he doesn't.
It's not showy. I mean, it's amazing without being
It's interior.
overdone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like you believe it. You believe that he's like that song that he's singing to his love, who might be in the room, right there, or to himself at the bar. Which I think about a lot with your music too. Sometimes it feels very much like an interior monologue, and I wonder if that's something you're thinking about.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. Sure.
Is it?
It's like my own personal life coaching.
We'll
You
cue the
can
nature
do
guitar.
this.
We were having a little new age nature guitar before.
We have a question from the comments. Someone would like
Yes.
to know what song you've written that you're most proud of.
That's a really hard question to answer.
Well, you could just answer in terms of how you feel today. You don't have to speak for your entire life and career. Just today, what do you feel most proud of?
Most proud of? Well, would I be proud because it's harmonically complicated? Or would I be proud because it's simple, catchy, hooky?
Or emotionally went to a place you didn't
Or very
expect?
personal?
Yeah.
Or because the lyrics tell a great story? I don't
I
know.
can't choose among my children.
Yeah, I think you're proud that you can't be proud about any one song.
Yeah, that's great.
I think so.
That is a great way to put it. Well, I know that you were planning on playing 3 songs, but I wonder if you'd like to give us a taste of any other song, anything else you might want to pull.
Sure. Let's do For the Last Time, which is from Resistor, and we just played it on Jules Holland.
Which is that's so exciting to me. I'm obsessed with Later with Jules Holland.
I should come up with a medley
A medley?
one of these days.
A medley.
That'd be
Later
good.
with Jules Holland is almost as good as the Nashville Hang with Ann Powers and Julie Hyde, but not quite as good as far as music.
We
goes.
call it NPR. Let me tell
I'm
you.
going to use that.
You
someday.
should.
Lera Lynn, Josh Gray, let's hear it.
In a room about this size, she came to life. They didn't have the same machines they do now. It's a rough road on the way in. If you make it, you'll be back again. To travel that way, reverse, Father, forgive my sins. Let me in. Which way you stumble, take your spin in a coin does toss. It's a rough road on this way down, but there's a passage in there, no doubt. And I'm told the bottom is well worth the longer route. It's longer route. She's seen enough to know grace and bow wow. All paperwork is notarized, you should have no doubt. We'll scramble to the dizzy queue. We'll find there ain't much to do. She's gonna laugh down with him, love like they used to. Like they used to.
treats.
Paid in popsicles.
There's
Let's
ice
have a
pops and
Nashville
dreamsicles.
hang
So wait, are
Got
these
tea. These are Purity.
Wait, are these
Which I got
organic,
from-
locally grown?
At the Kroger.
What do you mean that kind of purity?
Not that kind of purity. The bigger ones are dreamsicles.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Love
Orange
dreams.
cream.
Oh, yeah.
what is that one?
That's an
Orange
orange
bunch.
cream.
No,
like
that
it.
one you're holding.
This is a lemon pop. Would you prefer that? Are you
Uh,
non-dairy?
Oh, no. Oh, these are so good. Sorry.
You got this? Need
Yeah,
some
I
help?
got it. Anybody else want one?
Yeah,
I want one.
What do you
Later,
want?
later,
Okay.
So, and we always like to dedicate our sessions today with Lera Lynn and Josh Grange. I'm Ann Powers. Julie Height behind the iPhone camera. Would you like to choose a card?
I would love to. Pioneers of country music.
All right. Oh, and by the way, if you're in Nashville, where are you going to be tonight?
Oh,
Lera
we're
Lynn?
playing at Grimey's at the record shop.
They sell records there.
They sell records, real ones.
So who do we got?
Wilmer Watts.
We're going to dedicate this to Wilmer Watts of Wilmer Watts and the Lonely Eagles.
Oh.
Wilmer Watts, the music of Wilmer Watts is particularly interesting in that it is so far removed geographically from the mainstream of white Southern traditional music. There's a long explanation of this, and he came from Belmont, North Carolina, which I don't know why that's not Southern, but anyway, for some reason, his music was influenced by, I don't know, Scotch-Irish people. All I'll say is that the vocals were outstanding and featured perfect phrasing on both sessions. He worked for most of his life in textile mills.
Did you say Wilmer? Wait, Wilmer or
Wilmer Watts.
Wilmer.
He was born in 1897 and died in 1943. His original records are among the most highly prized collector's items, not only for their rarity, but also for their distinctive brand of music and their unusual repertoire. And I think you picked a good one because you have beautiful phrasing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just going to say that. Thank you. I say goodbye. I say Wilmer Watts says thank you for tuning in. This is Ann Powers on the Nashville Sessions, Nashville Hang, NPR Music with Julie Height, and we have some coming up in the near future. So keep tuned to our social media, and thanks again to Lera Lynn and Josh Grange. Bye now.
Bye.